Yeah. It's a party out to the late night riders, the survivors, to all the dog lovers out there, to the grinders. Come on. It's all contingent upon your mind, heart, soul, and sinew. Y'all all know how this thing goes. The name, All Nation. Shout out to the No Sleep Nation, the HBOs, the SGs. Let's go. Salute. Hey. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Let's go. Yeah, alright. Let the rhythm and the beat meditate in your heart. Let it soothe you. Don't let it abuse you. Come on. I already know my dog T Smooth up in here. Junior Gamer. Yeah. TMZ. Come on. Right. It's always a hater, right? One way or another. Yeah. Shout out to our Shanika. Kamika. What's good? Mama said there would be days like this, right? Pookie and Ray Ray, where you at? Turn me up. Yeah. Let's grind. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Subscribe, share, hit that star button. The content is free. Let's go. All right. Jamming with me. All right, Nation. Really appreciate you all for tuning in. I can't believe that I got it done in one song. All right, my name is Law Nation. For those who are here for the first time, we talk Cowboys, sports talk, and beyond. I'm not breaking news, Law. I don't do the breaking news. Nevertheless, there sometimes be news out there that I don't get a chance to get around to, because I'm preoccupied doing other things. And I will be out of town next week. So the content may teeter away a little bit, but I will still be doing something as it relates to Cowboys talk and beyond via my phone or other accesses there. So I always try to look at everything and try to measure out my time, space, and everything of that nature. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Everything is contingent upon one particular person. And if you guys can see the thumbnail there, I had Rain Dakota Prescott on there, and I had Ezekiel Elliott. With those two, they make the 214, believe it or not. And I believe when you look at Instagram, you look at some pages on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch, if you got that, you will see Ezekiel Elliott with his shirt off, running around, looking smooth, looking good out there. And for the pessimist people, they would say, well, Law, you said the same thing last year. You said the same thing the year before that. And for those who really from my hometown and those who knew me, man, Dave would say before I even got on YouTube, man, you say that every year, Law. You said that in 2006. You said it would be your year in 2005. And I believe some people, and just hear me out. Let me put the chat box up because I got to get y'all faces out here. Shout out to Scooter Magruder. Appreciate you. Shout out to Eddie O. Appreciate you for jumping in. Bruce, thank you for being part of the show. And thank everybody. People fail to realize that the word fan, the short part of it is for fanatics, right? It's fanatics. We are fanatics. We supposed to love this team. We supposed to root for this team. We supposed to support this team come hell and high waters. And it's not nothing to be mad and angry and upset at when things go not the way you planned it out to be. You can be angry, but only for a little while, right? Only for a short time. Yeah, so and think about this, Cowboy Nation. When we look at this, everybody, let me talk about quickly about Ezekiel Elliott and his dogs. I'm a dog lover. I grew up with dogs. And that's why I always have the dog in my deal here. You hear it? Yeah, the dog, man. You know, I grew up loving the dogs. And when you have a dog, a puppy this little, you know, I mean, you never unsee this moment. You never look at this situation and say, man, this dog is vicious. This dog is bad. This dog is horrible. You only will see this dog at this particular moment. Trust me, I cannot stand people who go out there and purchase a dog or buy a dog, or however you want to call it, get a dog house, get a chain, and they leave them outside. I really, that grinds my gears. You know, somebody that keeps a dog on a chain or somebody that keep a dog in their backyard and that's all they see. I grew up with 4 acres of land, and my dog never knew what a chain was, never knew what a dog house was, all pent up and these sorts of things, right? But I just come here to tell you guys that from the story from TMZ and everything, they was lamenting the fact that I guess the dog got out and it bit someone, right? And that's just how it goes. Let me put this up here. And you know, everybody got a money grab. This time last year around this same time, Dak Prescott, oh, there was a dog that got it loose. And then we found out that the dog didn't get it loose. The lady stuck her hand in between the fence. What you think the dog gonna do? Dog probably said kibbles and bits. What you think the dog was gonna do? You know, dog gonna be a dog. You put your hand in there. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. Bam. Here we go. It took me a minute. I got it up there, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate you, Tondrick. Appreciate you, Scooter Magruder Jr. Appreciate you. If that's the real Scooter, appreciate you. I don't know. You know how this YouTube thing is. You know, people create names all the time. Don't appreciate you. And let's see. Inez, Kim, appreciate you. Thank you for jumping in and being part of the show. Jay Blazing Gaming. You play a lot of games, huh, Jay? Blazing Gaming. Yeah, woof, woof. Yeah, appreciate you, Junior. All right, so as we begin to talk about this thing, shout out to you. I want to give a shout out to you, Vicente? If I butcher your name, charge it to my head, not my heart. And let me just pull up this old crazy thing right here. Yeah. Cops. Ezekiel Elliott, dogs with an S, attacks neighbors. NFL star is under investigation. Now, freeze the frame. Pause it right now. There was a player for the New Orleans Saints that got arrested for gun charges and these sorts. I want to do this, and I'm not trying to put players against players, and he's from Ohio State as well. Y'all can put his name in the chat box there. The guy that, you know, PI'd Amari Cooper, and they call it on Amari Cooper, we will see which storyline get the most traction. Now, this been on the news for 15 hours. I know I'm late to the party, but I'm at the party, right? And of course, it goes into detail. Dogs have gotten, it goes. Y'all can read it. Let me just do this then. And there's multiple other articles out there. I just pulled up TMZ. They had the most visual article out here with the breaking news and the lights and everything. But let me do this. His dog shouldn't get put down though. So I'm gonna put this. There's the link to the actual article. You guys can check it out and read upon it and digest it from those aspects of it. Cujo, Ezekiel Elliott attacked. And if anybody's saying, hey, put the dog down, what do you expect the dog to do? It's one of those things whereas dogs going to be dogs. And I know we got to be more cautious and we got to be careful of our pets, right? You got two streams going at once. What it do, Law Nation? Appreciate you, Jeremy X. Actually, we're live on Twitter, Twitch, not on Twitter, but Twitch, both YouTube channels as well as Facebook. So shout out to everybody that's on Facebook. Shout out to Terrence Shorts, man. We everywhere, baby. We live like 95, baby. We y'all, you know how this thing go. It's a party. Yeah. Yeah, it's a party, baby. Right now, the club be just not jumping right now. Shout out to all of the Hennessy drinkers, right? The 2-for-1 be over with right about now. And we'll be leaning right now. The music be hype, right? Shout out to all the party goers. When you get older, you want to find you a nice little lounge where you can just sit back. Maybe hear some amateur music, not karaoke, somewhere you can put a nice blazer on, you sit down and chill, just chilling. Like, order me one of those, man. Oh my goodness, 24/7 Cowboys. Now that's a cold-blooded Facebook name right there. Y'all go check out 24/7 Cowboys. I like that name. I like that. I should have a channel that says 24/7 Law, Cheeto, appreciate you. End of the day, an animal is unpredictable and you don't know what's in its head and its intentions. Yeah. Dogs are considered loyal, man's best friend, because of the loyalty, right? And a lot of times, dogs can sense heart attacks before they occur, right? There have been cases where dogs then save their owner from, I guess, an attacker, can sense pregnancy in a woman. So it goes many ways. I think animals are always here to help and protect, but sometimes animals are going to be animals. And until we can understand them completely, I think that they should be freely. They shouldn't be contained. They shouldn't be held from food and things like that. So it goes a long way, Being in the country, man, we even had horses. Y'all, anybody had horses? A wild horse will make you one, right? And you won't get on a horse back, especially if he have not been gilded, right? So there's a lot of things to deal with animals, and it's about how you know how to be that man, right? To be that overseer, to be that protector, to be that guiding voice of reasoning. So it's a lot of things. You got to know how to do those things. And that's old country law right there. Shout out to you, Miss Jessica. Appreciate you for jumping in. Rottweilers are crazier than pits. Yeah. AJ Torres, appreciate you, man. Some people think dogs or pets is an accessory. Yeah, AJ, man. Boy, I didn't know we had that many lovers of animals in here, like pet detectives over here. Oh, it's so cute. Every time y'all like, man, this pretty puppy gets bigger, right? Every time y'all hit that like button, I really appreciate you. Gilded 2 cents. Just Google it. Google was a gilded. Google that. When you have a horse that's not gilded. Just Google that right quick. Say law: humans hurts humans far more than vicious than animals to one another. Yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness. Sometimes we would look at the humanity and we would say to ourselves, man, what happened to it? What happened to it? I've seen, literally, there's a clip out there that there was a mother duck and a father duck, I believe. And his ducklings were trying to cross the street. And that father duck walked out in front of the traffic and allowed the mother duck and all of its darlings and babies to fall in suit behind. And it was like he was holding up traffic. And he was saying, okay, I'm letting my lady go through. Nowadays, guys, and we can't be that generous, right? They say, man, that guy just thirsty now, Chivalry's supposed to be dead. You can't hold the door for the lady no more, right? You can't say, excuse me, may I do this or may I do that, because you are considered weak or you're considered docile now, right? It's crazy how everything goes to we got to be mighty. We got to be, I'm not holding the door. Women are women and guys are guys and everybody equal. No, hold the door for the ladies, fellas. Hold the door. Chivalry, let them know chivalry is not dead, right? Right. All right, so let's get over to Rain Dakota Prescott while I'm stealing all of y'all time on this lovely night, and especially for those who out there who are just leaving from the club. The topic of this is the 2021 season could hinge on one thing. And let me see if I can play this. This is from 105.3 The Fan, by the way.
And this question is going to come up a lot, I'm sure, and he's going to get tired of it. They're going to get tired of it. Will Dak Prescott stay healthy? Because this season, I mean, if nothing else, hinges on that, right? Because if he's not, then...
What's healthy?
14 or 15 games.
Okay.
I would say pre-2020.
Which is, and he never missed a game.
Every game, you don't have to worry about his injuries at all.
And when I say what's healthy, like Dak's going to be hurt. It's going to, I mean, it's going to happen. The dude in football, you get injuries. Yeah. You're going to be hurt. So he's going to try and be out there every chance that he can. If he has a broken hand, he's still going to try and go out there and pass if he can. So like that's just the kind of guy that he is. So what is really truly healthy?
Let me pause him right quick. Really appreciate everybody for jumping in. Let me tell you guys this right here. There's no such thing as a player playing through the entire season 100% healthy unless they hitting the bench. And even if they're second string, they may have a little nicks in there from even passing the ball in practice and being on the second rotation. My thing is there got to be a manageable, tolerable, if I can say that in that way, way to stay upright. And you got to fight and muster through it. Reports came out that even Tom Brady last season was playing with a torn, I think it was a meniscus or something like that. He had a torn something, and he managed to battle through the pain. Many of years, we can go all the way back to Emmitt Smith. Had what was it, a separated shoulder? Y'all let me know. Was it a torn something? But was it a separated shoulder, right? And he still, it was against the Giants or was it against the Eagles? I know somebody with that recall, that great, wonderful recall. I think it was against the Giants game. And he ran out there. He just put that ice pack on there and said, man, give me this shoulder pad. Let me get back out there and let them know that I'm Emmitt Smith. Yeah, y'all let me know. And you got to battle through injuries. And Dak Prescott, I believe he's been injured before. He's been on the injury. He have not been on the injury report, but he's been injured before. So this probably be a new task for him. Now, I come here to tell you guys that Dak Prescott, when you think about it, most of the time when you have the injury like he had, and I'm not trying to sully or denigrate other people, you will see bandages, you would see brace, you would see what do you call it, copper bands and everything else. Dak Prescott walked cleanly out there. I see him throwing the ball around. There's a clip out there. I even got it on my phone of him throwing the ball with the workout training facility this morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. He's throwing the ball around with nothing on his leg. So normally, I went running the other day. I got a whole knee brace on over here. He had a dislocated shoulder. Appreciate you, Thomas. Man, see, I know. Was it against the Giants, right? It was the New York Donut game. Okay, Terrence, appreciate you, man. Yeah. So injuries occur. Injuries happen. And it's up to the person, pain tolerance level, right? That's how you say it. It's up to that person. Can they endure that type of pain? Can they go through? Can they still play up to level? I believe, was it Brett Favre? He had all of those injuries. That's what got him hooked on Vicodin and all of that other stuff. And he was still playing. That's why, a lot of people compared Tony Romo to Brett Favre. Now, it's just that Brett Favre never just got out continuously. He muscled through and battled through many of injuries. Yeah. And Tony Romo himself. I'm not going to sully or denigrate him. He fought through and battled through many of injuries. Still was able to stand tall and through the pocket. One of the games that I can remember, Tony Romo, outside of that game that he threw that touchdown pass to, I believe it was number 29. Dog, I'm getting old, man. I can't remember his name. I remember numbers. So when I started just saying numbers instead of names, DeMarco Murray, yeah, got there. DeMarco Murray. It's late. And when he threw that touchdown pass to him, what he had some type of slip disc or something like that, but he was still able to muster through it. That wasn't even the game that was really remarkable to me. The one that was super remarkable to me was that Dolphins game in the rain. It was a monsoon. It was wet and rainy. And he battled through. He was coming off of an injury, of course, with the collarbone, but he was still able to play in that game. And we were like, yay, look at Tony Romo. Look at him. Look at what he is able to do, right? And I will put Tony Romo and Sean Lee in this category. I used to say this all the time. Only if they had Jason Witten's blood, man. Oh, my God. What would have happened if they were to find out what Jason Witten was eating, right? Oh, my goodness. 2 Cent sighting doesn't know football. Shout out to 2 Cent, man. He's a diehard Steelers fan, and I can't wait to play the Steelers, even though it's an exhibitionist game that really don't mean anything. I just can't wait to play against the Steelers one more good time. I can't stand the Steelers. Can't stand them. But I know they can't stand a guy named Larry Brown, right? Yeah, they might have more Super Bowl rings than us, but I know on that Super Bowl Sunday, ooh, y'all can't stand Larry Brown, right? Jessica, appreciate you, though. Thank you for jumping in. Jason Witten had that country blood. Yeah. Come from a line of coaches, man, Thomas, and he just never got injured. And when he did, he was like, man, I'm ready to play next week. I said, man, how is he doing that with a broken jaw? Wired face. Face looked like he had, like he ate a whole bunch of donuts, man, just had the fat face. And then he had a spleen that was just leaking, right? They had to do some type of corrective surgery on that. Those were his only 2 injuries, right? And the one with the spleen, if I can remember, it was because Rolando McClain, right? Roll McClain hit him. Yeah, hit him when he was playing for such and such team. The Meadowlands. Jeremy X, appreciate you. Yeah, that game, boy, people say, hey, Law, last time the Cowboys was great, y'all probably had to pop up that VHS tape. Man, I might have to go back and watch that one,
Is a big concern of mine because I don't think he'll be healthy all season. I don't think he's completely healthy right now, to be quite honest. I think he's ready to go and he wants to be out there and he's passing all the tests that it takes to get on the field.
Right.
But I don't think he's completely like what he was, like Mike said, before last year going into the season. Plus, everybody saw that injury. Every opponent saw that injury last year. You don't think they're going to fall low or roll up on his ankle at some point? Like that, the protection of that is just, it scares the hell out of me.
For the Cowboys, and this question is going to come up a lot, I'm sure.
Well, let me say this right quick, Cowboy Nation. I know. People like to associate injuries as relates to like
on day one we talked about how.
Man, let me clear that right there. That thing jump back up. All right, people like to associate injuries like it's going to be an ongoing situation. I believe, and just hear me out slowly with this. Just hear me out slowly with this. And I know that these are two different caliber of players, but a wide receiver must cut. They must have good feet. They must stop, and they use their feet a whole lot more than, dare I say, a quarterback. Now, a quarterback do have to go through his progressions, and you want a quarterback to move and get out of the pocket and slide. But a wide receiver is very dependent on their ankles and how they cut in and out of their breaks. And I'm saying all of this because there was a guy that had a gruesome injury similar. And it happened in 2018, and when 19 came around, he was back on the field. And nobody's sitting there saying, okay, he's going to get injured again. And his name, by the way, is Allen Hurns. Do you guys remember that? You know, his stuff was all snapped up, man. Yeah, it was just nasty. We was like, oh, come on. And I believe that the guy tried to make it, damaging like that. And I know two different caliber of players, but did he get hurt again, Cowboy Nation? And I know people don't follow. Did he go? He went to the Miami Dolphins, right? And I don't know if he even made the team or what have you, or how many games he played, but I didn't hear any more storylines of, hey, he rebroke his what, and, he snapped up his what, right? Jessica, you heard him. 2 Cent, appreciate you, man. Purple Soul, who is talking? Was that Nick Eatman? No, that was. Let me see if I can re-pull this clip up, man. It went away. I had to take it away. That was the guys from 105.3 The Fan. And let me do this. Let me see if I can pull up that link and share it with you all so that you guys can watch the clip yourself, and they got actual video and everything. Let me see. What is the cylinder? Here we go right here. Bear with me. We building the plane while it's in the air. Here we go. And we go copy right here. No, yep. Go copy right here. I'm going to get out of here before they start hearing us. Okay. And we're going to post that in the description box. Allen Hurns. Romo was all hype. No, Romo was a... 2 Cent, I know that you are a diehard Steelers fan. And just like people from your side of the woods believe in Big Ben Roethlisberger, right? A lot of people on our side of the fence believe in Tony Romo. And before you hit me with the low-hanging fruit and say, well, Big Ben got 2 Super Bowls, go back and look at the Super Bowls that Big Ben Roethlisberger was able to win. Pull up his stats, post them down in the chat box, or somebody else post them down in the chat box, and you will literally see that defense helped that Big Ben out tremendously. And unfortunately for the Dallas Cowboys, we didn't have that level of defense, nor we had that level of coaching. The only time that we had that strong coach was Bill Parcells. Think about this. Bill Parcells been here for only a cup of coffee, and he took us to two playoff games, right? And I know people going to say, Lord, but hey, man, he took us to a playoff game with Quincy Carter and a young Tony Romo, right? Yeah, and he was only here for a cup of coffee. But I feel a lot of people that they like to do the quarterback comparison, like the said player plays on the same team, like everybody's playing under the same owner, everybody playing under the same coaching, and people just don't understand that part of it. And I'm not trying to sully or denigrate Tony Romo or Jason Garrett and these likes, but we got to call a spade a spade. Jason Garrett been here for 10 years, right? And I know we got Mike McCarthy now, and Mike McCarthy been here 1 year, and I heard articles and everybody writing, Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. I said, I'll be damned. How he gets on the hot seat within 1 year? What happened to that hot seat with Jason Garrett? You know? But give it time. And I see so many people, and the people that bleed to silver and blue, saying that, hey, oh, man, Dan Quinn, he ain't this, he ain't that. Well, last I checked, he's not the head coach. And last I checked, he didn't have this particular staff. So every year is a new year. Every year is an absolutely new year. So we can't look at what Dan Quinn did over there in Atlanta land and say, oh, he liked to give up big leads. Well, he didn't have George Edwards in his ear. Did you think about that? Oh, Mike McCarthy, blah, 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 blah. Well, Mike McCarthy now, he got Dan Quinn. So it all works together, Cowboy Nation. It does. Let's see. That second Big Ben Super Bowl, Ben won that game in the end, though. This is from Terrence Shorts. Pull up that stats, though. Pull up that stat. Pull up that stat, though. Pull up Big Ben stats. Somebody, shout out to you, Terrence Shorts, man. Appreciate you for all what you do over there on Facebook land. But somebody pull up Big Ben stats and let me see those numbers. Pull them up. I thought Big Ben was going to pass out in that last game. He was not even looking too good. Yeah. But the NFL is a weird booger bear. The NFL, Brian Brothers called it a strange lady. The NFL is a strange lady, meaning that you just never know. Maybe she have hairy legs and a goatee. I don't know. I don't think you can classify that as a lady. But the NFL is a weird one. They like to be in beauty pageants, right? So the NFL is crazy. Year to year, we never know what we have. Year to year, rules change. Certain things are being crazy and viewed upon. Just like when we look at this right here. Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, my goodness. NFL stars under investigation for the nation. Now watch Roger Goodell. He going to have something to say about that, right? It never fails. And then we pull up this right here on my Instagram. 2021 NFL strength of schedule. Oh, man, this is going to be the hardest schedule for such and such. And this will be the easiest schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles, the easiest schedule for Dallas Cowboys. Oh, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, although they won the Super Bowl, but just by luck, they got an easy schedule too. That's the NFL in a nutshell. Every year is different, though. Nothing is the same. Let's see. I hope Dan can turn our defense around. This is from Saving Siege. What's up with you, JP? Appreciate you, man. You're the GOAT, Lord. No, man. You guys are the GOAT. You guys are all the GOAT. Appreciate you, CR. Take it easy. Be safe out there. It is 12:31 where I'm at. And let's do this. Let's do this. They talked also about the ceiling aspect. Let's see if we can pull this one up.
What do y'all think is the career ceiling for Dak?
All-time Cowboys leading everything, except for maybe wins.
Isn't the next guy just going to beat him the way the NFL?
Yeah, no, and that's one of the reasons, Mike, is they're going to give him the ball. He's going to be able, like, his numbers are on trajectory, and they have been to surpass Tony Romo in all those categories. And health obviously has something to do with that, but like that's why people think that Tony Romo is so awesome. They're like, look at all the numbers. Like he broke every record in the Cowboys books that your Super Bowl heroes Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach couldn't do. You know, it's like or set. So that's where people kind of get skewed. But I think the biggest problem is he's going to be limited by the organization. Like his ability to win and be that guy that is going to playoff games, dominating in playoff games, and making a strong case for the Super Bowl is limited by the talent and the disorganization of this franchise.
All right, so that's them talking about the organization as a collective, and we can go back and forth and talk about, well, whether this organization is on point and we got things going and heading in the right direction. Let me just tell you guys this, and every year we should be, optimistic, but I'm going to give you guys the red pill, and, and shout out to all the blue pill Cowboys out there too, fans. But the red pill says that, okay, based upon, historic data and based upon Jerry Jones, he gets in the way. He liked to have the final decision. He got the political football in mind. There are some handshakes that must go down. There are some business deals that must be seen. One of the things that was brought to my attention many a moons ago, and they was talking about quarterbacks just a few seconds ago. One of the greatest quarterbacks for the Dallas Cowboys, and one of my favorite quarterbacks as well, he wore number 8, Troy Aikman. He said that, hell, we had to win in spite of the coaching. Let me repeat, we have to win in spite of the coaching. And Barry Switzer, hey, you guys know how he was, right? Now, I'm saying all of this to say that this particular team, Dak Prescott got his bag. He got his money. He got his coins. Now people have reservation of whether or not he would stay healthy or not. I believe, like I said, when I seen him and then he walking around and he's all through Dallas, he don't have a brace on. He don't have a bracket or anything else. He just walking around naturally. I've known people that play basketball every day, and they twist their ankle. They got something nick going on. They will have a they'll have a bracket, a doggone sleeve. They'll have something to secure and hold that thing in place. Now, whether this guy got Wolverine's power and he don't feel no pain, he's walking around fine. And there's no limp. That's one thing you got to watch, too. Is this guy limping? Is he kind of like hearing your ankle pop when he move? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I say all of this to say that everything hinges on Dak Prescott to be just that leader. One thing that a lot of people saw implode last year was people started talking. People started saying that they don't believe and have trust when Dak Prescott got out of there. People started bumping their gums about this. Stuff started to leak. And we were sitting there like, man, it wasn't doing that when Dak Prescott was here, right? Now, let's transfer and move forward to this year, 2021. We got a gang of guys right now that's new to the area. We got over 11 rookies that's trying to make this team. And Dak Prescott sent a text to them all. That's good stuff. See, that type of news don't get reported, right? Now, it get reported off of stuff that they try to make news out of it, like when he sent a text over there to Simi and what's this show called Undisputed? They were sitting there saying, oh, wow, he sent da-da-da-da. Not knowing that he sent text to everybody. That's psychology. That's the mindset. That's leadership 101. That's that situation when you think about it, you say, man, this right here, this guy right here is a dog. Yeah. Cam says that dog killing me. You better watch out. That dog ain't like that no more in that thumbnail, Cam. That dog big now. But I come here to tell you guys that in spite of what Jerry Wayne Jones or John Stephen Jones are doing, I believe that this team, just hear me out, and I know people are going to say, well, Law, you just optimistic. I believe that this team is going to be being led by, that's a better way, pardon my English, be led by Dak Prescott. And you see the other person on this picture, Ezekiel Elliott, he's hungry. He's working out more than he ever did before. He's trim now, and it's different. I think it's just different. Now, I do know that Tony Pollard, he's a dog too, and he's been working out. And we all talk about iron sharpening iron, steel sharpening steel. I think that Tony Pollard, he rolled out of the bed one day and walked to the gym, and Ezekiel Elliott was looking out his window, probably eating his oodles and noodles, and he saw Tony Pollard. He said, dog, Tony is on that, man. Let me get on there too. And ever since then, they've been on that thing, man. They've been hungry. They hungry. They hear they hear all of the Cowboys noise. They hear all of the news going back and forth about we haven't did this and we haven't done that. They hear it. They say and lie, kick it, and be like, nah, we don't hear it. But they hear it. They hear it. Let's see right here. Victor Lee. Dak is the truly a leader of man. Yeah. How do you like RG3 rumor as the backup? GMG 254. That's one of the major things that we have to make sure we have checked off. Is the backup quarterback on the offense. I believe that this offensive line will be better than what they were last year. I believe that our wide receiving core pretty good. And, yeah, you guys, I really appreciate you guys for checking out the film session on Fihoku. I think that the kid is amazing. He's 6'4". He can pull the ball out of the sky. And even T.J. Basher, I like him too. And these guys, they're going to have something to prove when OTAs come around in training camp. All of these guys is on the low end. And even Cedric Wilson, he's been working out tremendously. Shout out to Texas Rank and shout out to Coach Bird. They've been working that kid out tremendously. And he's hungry. He's ready for it, as well as Noah. I've seen people say, hey, can you move Simi to a tight end? Let me give you guys that thought right quick. Keep him at wide receiver. Keep him being elusive, fast. He got to work on his release. But there are ways to get around that part of it. How you work on that, how they circumvent that is actually put them in the slot. You can't jam a person out of the slot. Well, you could try, but you look like Boo-Boo the Fool when you line up showing that you finna press, and they motion him right before the snap. You know, you'd be like, so you might want to play off a little bit. 5 yards, by the way. So that's how you get guys comfortable in the National Football League. CeeDee Lamb, same situation. If you look up CeeDee Lamb scouting report, you will see that CeeDee Lamb had issues off the release, off the snap. So how do you circumvent that? And I'm not saying that he can't, but how you circumvent that? Oh, you put him inside the slot. Slot receiver Lamb. And he did a hell of a job last season, and he's hungrier, and he's bigger, and newsflash, he's been working out with Dak Prescott. Yeah. So all of these things working together. Pit bulls are very terrible dogs. This is from Jessica. That's subjective, right? That's subjective, depending on how, you raise your dog. But, it's subjective. I love it. We got competition. This is from Bruce. Yeah. Simi will move to tight end when Cox does. Eddie O. Well, you got your high-low tight end. My thing is with Simi, if he moved to tight end, he's 222 pounds, and the brother will have to learn how to block. Now, can he be an illusion as an inline guy? You line him up close to the LOS. That ain't going to happen, Captain. When I looked at the tape, I was like, he's a willing blocker, but he's not a good technique blocker. And that's what people thought about Noah Brown. They said, okay, and Noah can block, though. I ain't going to say he can't block, but Noah can block. But you still ain't going to put him on the end line and say, okay, come off of that and block. Nah, not Noah. But they try to put weight on Noah, and he never looked like when he was in college, right? And they said, well, we would put you on the practice squad, and then that experiment was a failure. And then this new coaching staff come along the way, and they said, man, who are you? Where are you going? What do you want to be? You want to be a wide receiver? Well, get in shape. You got into this date. We'll see what you can do during training camp, and we'll let you perform as wide receiver. Oh, Eddie, you're saying sarcasm. Okay, I feel you. Okay, I got you. But I'm not talking to you then, Eddie, because there's a lot of people that saying, hey, tight end. But let me break it down. Just like when people said, hey, can you move Dez to a tight end? Can he play tight end? Yeah, he can play tight end. But if I'm the linebacker and I see him lining up on the inside and I'm sitting here saying, okay, 88 is now the tight end at 205 pounds or 215, whatever size he is. He may be big in person, but that's tiny as a tight end. And all they going to yell out is pass, switch, pass. They get in their pass coverage and they have a guy switch off, ram him up, blitz the quarterback because they know this finna be a pass. And that's one less receiver that's going to come out, and that's one less blocker. And now you got Dez folded up like Family Guy because they reading that. They know good and well it ain't going to be no run. Hey, look, these linebackers going to be like, oh, we can sit on these routes now because we know that there's no illusion. That's why you got to be able to disguise. People think that Madden is real life, you know. Like we can just plug and chug a player right here. It don't work that way. It don't work that way because people will look. These players will be able to spot it out. The moment they will try to say, okay, all right, let's switch this kid Simi as a tight end, and they see him moving inside the formation. Oh, they know this ain't gonna be no run. Yeah, you can look when you know what they about to do. You can be an inch. That's all it is. Football is a game of inches, a game of seconds. And when you just trying to get that little bead off of a player, you just trying to get it. GMG 254. He says, "Are you going live preseason game like 95? We going live all year."
So I think that's where I stand. The Cowboys fans are gonna love him like they loved Romo, or hate him like they hated Romo. But
is that already happening?
He's going to be.
By the way, do you think he's already slotted in that Romo category unless he wins? Of half the people think it's the best, half the people think he stinks.
Yeah, they're going to be avid supporters of Dak Prescott forever because of they're going to show the highlights of the throws that he makes. That you're like, how can you not love this quarterback? Yeah. Even though there are other warts on this team and some things that he does too. But I think that like if the organization can't find a way to navigate this better, then his career is screwed. Like he's going to make lots of money. He's going to be in the limelight. He's going to be front and center, Mike, when it comes to primetime games in the NFL. He's always going to be in that conversation in the national media because he's the Cowboys quarterback.
Facts, yeah.
But there are going to be limitations to what this team can do because of the way that they're run.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in this era. As long as he can stay healthy, come back healthy, he'll be considered a good quarterback in this era, the way Tony Romo is considered. Yeah, he was good.
No. Call me silly, call me crazy. I think that he's going to be considered a great quarterback when it's all said and done. He's going to shatter all of the or majority of the Cowboys records, by the way. And it's just how it goes from here. This is a pass-happy league. People fail to realize we got an extra game, right? 17 games opposed to 16. So by nature of just law of averages, shout out to the laws on that, and the long arm of the law, you're gonna get shatter all of the records. I don't know, like by this extra game being here, how do that even play into like the Hall of Fame? Because now people gonna look at it like, hey man, this guy ran such and such amount of yards. This guy threw for 6,000 yards within one season, or this guy had 60 touchdowns in one season. Is that number obscured a little bit? How do they even compute? I didn't even think about that, by the way.
Good, but he wasn't elite. He wasn't Hall of Fame worthy. But he was good, not good enough to really like overcome a lot of things.
Okay.
But he's good. So that's where I think that.
But you think that's.
Look, I'm not going to. Look, they said. They talking about Tony Romo now. He was not elite. He was not Hall of Fame worthy. I got to call BS on that. I was about to say the actual cuss word, but I'm going to say BS on that because here's why it's BS. And let me hear it from you guys. Will Eli Manning make it to the Hall of Fame? Y'all just post me your thoughts in the comment box. Post me your thoughts. And is Eli Manning, just put yes or no for Eli Manning going to the Hall of Fame, and was Eli Manning better than a Tony Romo?
And it seems like I'm sorry to jump in there.
Yeah.
It seems like perhaps both of y'all think that is more organizationally dependent than on his talent, or am I misinterpreting?
No.
that?
I don't think he'll ever do the things that Patrick Mahomes can do talent-wise.
Agree.
He can't scramble.
Let me say BS on that one. I know I'm finna get a bunch of hate mail because so many people will look at Pat Mahomes and say, oh, man, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And you're only about to say this, Law, because you're a Cowboys fan. But from Pat Mahomes' mouth to everybody's ears, he actually look at Dak Prescott for tips. He actually goes to Dak Prescott to say, hey, how do you manage to do this and how do you do that? Now, from a natural thrower of the ball, yes, Pat Mahomes is Money Mahomes. There's nobody from what I can see on this planet that's similar in a sense outside of the Aaron Rodgers, right? or some other guy that's going to come out of this draft in the next few years. And that's just how it goes. But I believe sometimes when you win a Super Bowl, people get misguided and they will only look at the aspect that you got the Super Bowl and they would never look at anything else. But one thing that I really love from this last season of the Super Bowl was this one good thing. We got a chance to see Pat Mahomes without his right tackle and without his left tackle and without a defense that's able to make turnovers and takeaways. And lo and behold, he looked like a pedestrian out there. He didn't look like Money Mahomes. Oh. But I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is better. No. But what I'm saying is that people got to understand that you need help regardless of your skill set. I digress, by the way.
Scramble and throw the ball or do the things that, like, he just doesn't have that ability. I don't think he has the ability of Trevor Lawrence. Let's see what that ability is in the NFL. I don't think he has the ability of Justin Herbert. I don't think he has the
Oh, my God. Who is this dude, man? I need to Google this dude. He said that he don't have the ability of a Justin Herbert. I can't. See, this that type of stuff, man. But that's his thoughts. That's his opinion.
ability of Lamar Jackson. Now, they're different. Obviously, Lamar runs for 1,000 every year, it looks like. And how long can he do that? I don't know. But I just think when I look at this quarterback class, this era of quarterback, he's going to be, over time, forgotten the way Tony Romo is starting to be forgotten.
No.
This dude said that Dak Prescott over a period of time will be forgotten. Oh, my goodness. This is comedy this late at night. I didn't know that you guys were going to be at the comedy club tonight. All right, so I really don't even want to play the rest of it. But I would say this, though, Cowboy Nation, is that in 2000, I'm not going to say who won Rookie of the Year. Those awards and trophies and things like that are much to do about nothing, right? We only want the hardware. But it does cement a place in time that when people are going to look at it and say, man, when this guy was faced with all types of problems, issues, and situations of your number one quarterback went down, then all of a sudden your number two quarterback went down, and then they brought in a guy named Sanchez. He couldn't make it. And all of a sudden this fourth-round draft pick, not the first out of the fourth round, the second guy out of the fourth round, because I think they drafted Charles Tapper right before him. He was the guy that was able to step up and say, hey, I can wield this team. I can help elevate this team. I can put this team in a good graces and at least get to the playoff. And I know it was due to the Ezekiel Elliott effect and a whole bunch of other things. But still, if it was so easy for this team to do that, then why Nobody else was doing it. Why the previous year, the exact same offensive line, still number 3 in total collective rushing yards the previous year. Why Kellen Moore couldn't do that in 2015, right, when the quarterback went down, right? I think that there was a record out there that outside of Tony Romo, I believe that the teams were like 1-15 or 2-16 or 3-13. Like, that's how many games that they won collectively as the backup quarterback. But all of a sudden, Dak Prescott is going to be forgotten in this era.
Sometimes I wonder. I wonder if we already saw the best year that Dak is going to have here.
Would that be his rookie?
And that was 16. And so I think the same thing about Romo in 14. It's interesting.
So many people go back to 2016 and say that that was Dak Prescott's best year. Like, he didn't improve. Like, 17, I can tell you guys, that was a horrible year. Now, the 17 was a booger bear of a year. You had Roger Goodell's peeping all through the Dallas Cowboys and poking his nose and putting his finger all in the eye of Jerry Wayne Jones. They had not this investigation going on, but they had the investigation for the nation against Ezekiel Elliott that Kia Roberts said, I see no fault in the man. And this guy was still saying, no, there's some fault in the man. And even with that investigation, they uncovered that the lady said in a transcript, voicemail, text, all of that good stuff, saying that, hey, I'm going to sully and denigrate your name. Even though these things are nefarious, I'm going to lie and I'm going to get you out of the NFL. Anybody on any level of investigation would have took that saying and statement and said, you know what? We got to have to throw this out now, ma'am. You done already painted yourself out of this situation because you done lied to the authorities. And to this day, there's no arrest report. There's no citations. There's no mugshot of Ezekiel Elliott. I digress.
Interesting that one came at the end and one came at the beginning, but Romo finally did the things, Corey, that we had asked him to do. Is like, don't play hero ball, trust your team a little bit more, and then you can make a clear argument, at least offensively, they built up the team to better suit him. And guess what?
Dean Blandino screwed him.
Yes, that is true, but he was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
But the team didn't go far enough or get the wins in the playoffs to solidify what I think at that time would have made everybody go like, holy crap, maybe we were wrong all along. And I wonder the same thing about Dak. Will they look back at that 16 season when it looked like the Cowboys could beat anybody? As long as we got the ball back, we were going to score and going to win, but then you stalled out in the same round, and that prevented people from immediately vaulting Dak into that category.
Yeah, and that I hate to use excuses. Y'all know that. It builds bridges to nowhere, and monuments to nothing. I don't like to use excuses, but I do like to give you guys the honest truth and my thoughts on this, right? It was just a crazy game. It's like in that playoff game against Mike McCarthy in 2016, he was there. Yeah, it was him. It wasn't him. Yeah, he was still there, right? 2016, 17 year, right? It was him. Yeah. Yeah. How in the world that Aaron Rodgers held onto that ball? I believe after that blitz. Was it, what's the guy, Orlando Scandrick? Did he blitz him coming off the edge, knock the ball out of his hand? He couldn't do that. And there was a penalty. It was kind of crazy that penalty occurred when we caught the interception. And I think it was Jeff Heath, and they took it back from us. How did that penalty occur, right? And too many people in the huddle. Crazy stuff, right? It was crazy day that day. And, of course, that sideline throw to the tight end, I forgot his name, that Aaron Rodgers made was one of the beautiful play. But I want to tell you guys, it was a graze of the helmet. You guys remember, and they said, hands to the helmet, unpersonal. It was roughing the quarterback or something like that from one of our players. Crazy stuff all happened. And when we go back to even that miracle play, go back and look at David Irvin. He was in the chokehold. Jared Cook, appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, Jared Cook. He made that catch though. I can't even say he made that catch. And to this day, I was sitting there like, man, when he was on the market, I was saying the Cowboys ought to just pick him up just off of general principles, GP. Just pick him up, stash him on our team, just so he would never ever make that catch again. Because I don't believe he would ever make that catch ever again. But we want to have him on our team. And I know he's like long in the tooth now, so we don't have to worry about him now. But it's just crazy.
Well, to the point, though, too, is like Patrick Mahomes doesn't do it on his own. That was proof last year in the Super Bowl, right?
My point exactly. Oh, look, people building this monument to Pat Mahomes, but, man, it was 3rd and forever. I think it was like 3rd and 20. In the Super Bowl against the 49ers. And I'm glad the 49ers didn't win that Super Bowl, by the way, because, we don't want them to join 2 Cent over there in the 6th Super Bowl club. So there was only one wide receiver that can make that catch and can get and take the top off the defense. And there was the Hill kid, whatever this guy named, Tyreek Hill. Yeah. Tyreek Hill. It was just crazy. And all Jimmy Garoppolo had to do, he had a clean pocket, and I know he had some stress on the edge. All he had to do is step up a little bit and just lightly lob that ball. I think Emmanuel Sanders would have got up under there and scored that touchdown. But he overthrew him by a mile. He did. Oh, my goodness.
He needed that tackle to be out there so that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who even said, yeah, our game plan was just attack. We were going to go after him, and we were going to make that tackle miserable all day long. So every quarterback needs.
But defense don't win championships.
Needs a good team and good talent around him.
Absolutely.
And Dak didn't have a good offensive line last year, and their defense was miserable.
And the only thing I would say about that is, fair or unfair, people hold that against the quarterback, because how many times do you think Dan Marino was on a fatally flawed team? And
almost all the time.
Yeah, and people don't revisit that and go, yeah, well, most people, they're like, yeah, Dan Marino's the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. It always comes with that caveat. And I get that it's unfair, and I understand that not entirely wins should be a quarterback statistic, but that is the way it gets judged. And I worry that for Dak, just like I did with Romo.
Yeah, no, I hear you guys. I agree with everything you're saying. I just, when it comes to Dak, because I do put him in this Romo category now of good but not good enough.
Before they go into that detailings there, Cowboy Nation, since 2016, who is the 3rd most winningest quarterback since 2016? Can somebody post that information down for me in the chat box there? Because I want to know. I want to know who's the 3rd most winningest quarterback since 2016. I want to know. Flat out do. Y'all can post that somewhere down there in the description box.
And hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully that he shows this year or sometime in the next, as long as he's healthy, he probably has 8 more years left of good football in him, we expect. But I don't know. I've seen other quarterbacks overcome. I mean, I started becoming, I would say, sports relevant in like 85, 86. So that's right when Dan Marino and John Elway hit the scene. And they overcame things. They made it to Super Bowls. They won playoff games that they weren't supposed to win. There were things that guys eventually got so good you couldn't stop them. And I get, like, Brett Favre got Reggie White, and Broadus can talk about, like, that move put Green Bay over the top. And
Let me tell y'all what happened. And I can just be very, very, very concise with this. Brett Favre, when he won his Super Bowl, he had Reggie and all of those guys, but the best thing that happened to him was Desmond, Howard, right? Flipping of the fields, 3 faces to a football game, right? Dorsey Levens, right? Y'all remember him? And was Freeman on that roster, or was it Andre Rison on that roster? I was going all the way back in the 90s. They tempered him. They did what they did to Tony Romo in 2014. They ran the ball. That helped them out tremendously. When we go to the 2 years, the back-to-back Super Bowls of John Elway. Yeah, Antonio Freeman. Appreciate you, Terrence. Boy, you a genius over there, man. Appreciate you. And I saw the message a couple of streams ago when we was talking about that. Yeah, Dak Prescott did throw the first touchdown in the playoff game to Jason Witten, right? I believe that was Dak Prescott, but that's a story of a different day. When we talk about John Elway, John Elway couldn't beat Doug Williams in that Super Bowl, right? John Elway was just horrible, right? And what if I told you, with John Elway, they said, man, we're going to have to chill this thing out for this old man. And John Elway was always a bad boy, right? So they got him a running back, and although he was drafted late, or was he undrafted? What TD? TD was drafted in the 6th or 7th round, or he was undrafted. I forgot. But that boy was running, and they had good defense. They did. That was the recipe. And all what happened with the Elway situation, Bill Belichick just copied and replicated that. Good run. Look, I want you guys to look up their defenses when the Patriots won their first few, right? And then look at what they was able to do with the running of the ball. Patriots was all about, okay, how can we replicate that? We get good defense, we run the ball, we get a quarterback that can manage this thing, because that's how they lost. And even though Pete Carroll was in that Super Bowl with Drew Bledsoe, it was Drew Bledsoe versus Green Bay Packers, right? Let me know if I'm lying, right? And when he lost his job and he went off to coaching somewhere, Bill Belichick got an opportunity to coach the Jets, and then he said, you know what, I'm going to go back over there with that program. They got a good quarterback. I can figure out the running back situation, and they tried to do that. Jack says, Buccaneer Nation, is there ever such a thing? Yeah, is there ever such a thing? Appreciate you for jumping in. Let's see. The best thing for Brett Favre was Jimmy Johnson leaving Dallas. That's a good one. Hell yeah, that's a good one. John Elway had TD, yeah, Tyrone Church. So it's always a situation where you got to harness some of that thing in, and you got to make sure that you replicate. You got to make sure you do that. And I'm quite sure that even TB, I'm talking about Tom Brady now, he kind of looked through everything and surveyed the land and said, okay, damn, I really like Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got a seasoned coach. They got defense. But just by that alone, I won't be able to win it. Let me pull up the phone and let me call Gronkowski. Oh, no, they ain't going to drug test him, man. They going to let him go right into the program and play. Right? He get the free pass. Or let me call Antonio Brown and say, hey, you want a cup of coffee? Let me get some guys that, although they may not be up to the par to where they were playing at when they was in their pro prime, but if from a defensive aspect of it, think about this. From a defensive aspect of it, hear me out, Cowboy Nation. I know it's going to go in one ear and go out the other. From a defensive mindset, you might be looking at it like, hey, I'm the DB, and I'm lined up against Gronkowski. Oh, my goodness. You're going to be a little timid. Or I'm a DB, and I'm lining up against AB. Oh, I'm going to be a little timid. Just because of his past, I don't want him to use me in a certain way. So now you timid. Now you may not jump that route like you're supposed to because you know he's going to do the celebratory dance. that Tampa Bay team was loaded, baby. And I know a lot of people going to say, nah, but it was well crafted out, and they had some veteran seasoned coaches over there. Yes, they did. They did. So it is what it is. Elway had Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey, and Shannon Sharp. Yeah, he had a squad. Now, he had no chopped liver out there. But look how long it took him to get that, you know. Yeah. Most wins by a quarterback since 2016. Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Drew Brees. Oh. Is that the most recent one? Because now you got to remove Drew Brees out of the situation because he's no longer in the National Football League. He retired. So it should be – I thought that Russell Wilson still got more wins than Dak Prescott, right? Because he played majority of the year last season. I could be wrong. I thought the list was Tom Brady, Wilson, and Dak, and then Breeze. But I could be 1,000,000% wrong on it. But I appreciate you for doing your research there. I love when people do their research. So let me give you one of these right here. If you're right, and if you're wrong, I'm gonna have to get the whip out. Yeah.
In the Super Bowl back-to-back years, and he won 3 MVPs in a row. But I just don't think Dak is good enough. And I hate saying that because he's good. I'm now. Can he become elite to become that's the best dude in the NFL? And if he's not the best dude, then he's the second or third. I don't know. That's where we're at with Josh Allen.
Everybody loved that Josh Allen, boy. He had a good year last season. Josh Allen did have a good year. Let me see another one, though.
Right now, I think, can he take that net? And I don't know if.
Oh, that defense is nasty, too, over there in Buffalo. And they had a good draft this year. Damn, Buffalo's had a good draft.
Dak, because I think a lot of people are like, well, Josh Allen only did it for a season and a half so far. But
yeah. People like that. And people like Law said he only did it for a season and a half. Now, Josh, he's different. You know, he rolls out. He's a big, tall, physical guy. Throw the ball like he's trying to kill you. You know, with the ball, he got that strong arm. Cole Beasley looked like he was on page last season, right? And then Diggs looked like he was doing some good stuff over there. So, you know, I give him that. We'll see.
I don't know, man. Just the arm strength, the talent, the athleticism, to me, is better than Dak's. So can Dak overcome all the things that Josh Allen has more talent than him in those things? I don't think he can, but hopefully
that was the end of that clip. Okay. Dak Prescott versus Josh Allen and all of those boys that he just mentioned. It's okay. It's okay. We'll see who's going to be number one on that list by this end of this year. And I love it. I love it. Cowboy Nation. Everybody that, oh, my bad, 2 Cent. Wait a minute, I accidentally put you. Hey, no name calling, 2 Cent. You don't have to name call somebody, man. They got to put you back in timeout, man. No name calling. Please respect the mods over there. And the mods, I really appreciate you guys because y'all work crazy hours with me whenever I jump live. And I'm quite sure that you guys do this all for the love and adulations for the nation. And I can't wait to one day when that blessing come, I will bless you guys back. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in for this episode. If you like this episode, be sure to hit that like button. And if you don't like this episode, be sure to hit this like button. Share this content. And tell friends, neighbor, foes where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and Beyond. In closing, as Uncle Charles would say, everything is contingent upon Dak Prescott. He is the quarterback of this team. He is the leader. He is the rock of this team, and you can see. And if you're in this Dallas area, especially DFW, or if you're close to the Star in Frisco and these sorts, you will know his impact everywhere. It's very contagious, and I believe there's lots of people that will have a preconceived notion of Dak Prescott, and they will say, man, I can't wait to cuss him out and yell out, he suck and these sorts. But when you see him, there's a certain aura, a certain glow that a lot of people gravitate toward him. And And after you have that conversation with you say, man, this dude ain't that bad after all. And this dude is a rock. You know, he's solid. And that's just how it goes. Dak Prescott. And we got a whole heap of rookies on this team. 11 of them that we drafted, and we have some that was undrafted. And one of the guys that I'm really rooting for is Nick Ralston. I hope I said his man's name right. He is the fullback. I want that physical fullback presence. I like TJ Vasher. I like the Semi kid. I hope that they get out there and they show you know what, Brennan Eagles. And I just want him to score one time in preseason, maybe against those funky. We played against the Steelers. Maybe against those funky Steelers, and the Eagles scored on the Steelers. You know, that'd be nice via Dallas. You know, so we got a long way to go, Cowboy Nation. All we want is this off season. No more investigations, no more troubles and these sorts. And I know it's hard for us to stay out of the limelight, but it's going to happen. We wish that everybody can have a healthy offseason so that we can get our full, complete team heading into the 2021 season to kick this thing out right. I believe that Mike McCarthy, Will McClay, as well as Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr., George Edwards, all of those guys, even Kellen Moore, you know, will collectively put their minds together. Who's the other guy? Bone Fossil, right? I believe that during this off season, we're going to be eating so much he is going to gain 5 to 10 pounds, right? He's going to be bigger. You know, y'all be like, man, what happened to Bones, man? Bones don't look like Bones no more because he's eating. That's what we want to see. We want to see him eat, Cowboy Nation. We really do. We really do. Shout out to everybody, man, that jumped in and being part of this whole entire late night stream. I say this every time before I leave, man. I want it to be repetitive, right? I want it to marinate in your heart, soul, and send you in your mind. Every time. Write this down. Write this down. Todd Wilson. Appreciate you, man, for the donations to help elevate the nation. Had me stopping in my tracks, and I believe in the hearts of hearts. See, you gave so that you can help support the nation. You gave so that you can put the nation in a better situation, so that this conversation can last a little bit longer. And I really appreciate you, Todd. I really do, man. Wilson off the top rope with the 100 MXN. Appreciate you, man, so much. But write this down, Cowboy Nation. And I really appreciate you guys on the way out giving the donations to help support this thing. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you will simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness, or body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it, with the help of Almighty, you will get it. Salute to you, Todd, for being the sponsor of that particular part of my conversation right there. Let's continue to grind to shine, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. We got 2 songs. Shout out time. Don't forget to put down where you guys are from. We're going to listen to Young Nick, and we're going to get on out of here. 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah. Come on. Yeah. Tell them. Tell them.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on blinging, she freeze.
Shout out to you, Jasmine. Shout out to you, Devin. Shout out to you, Jack.
Please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome and just whole team.
Where my boys at?
Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up a wait till I old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things for your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck.
Bruce, appreciate you.
The hate and the jealousy, my mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays, nothing really excites me.
Shout out to you, GMG. Texas Cowboys. Yeah. Yeah. Let's grind to shine, Cowboy Nation. Mr. AZ. Yeah. Extreme Assassin. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Eddie O. Appreciate you. Louise, appreciate you, man. Let's grind. Tyrone Church. Come on. I would never sell my only soul. Yeah. Your whole team was for sale. Come on. Heard this on the market for the low. Who the realest we might never know. All this acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Oh. Now you're looking hungry, ready to touch and need some food. Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was Isaiah G. Shout out to the G's. 40 Lux. Shout out to the HBOs. Share Gang Nation. Come on. Y'all see Big Bo. We gonna knock some stuff on. Ron Stopper. Yeah. Come on. Get him. First. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, Nation, let's grind to shine, baby. Let's continue to put things in the right place. And then we're going to add them up.
I ran up a check, I might do it again.
Yeah.
Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside
Where
the
my dog
city,
at?
I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years.
Dog go hard right here.
I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
Yeah.
Add it up, bankroll, euro,
Dim staring, hey, appreciate you. Trey, appreciate you. It's on me, baby. Come on. Bankroll it. My dog at.
I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Told her if it's all me,
that dog go hard. Y'all better watch out for it. Yeah.
Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart. I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up.
Come on. Let's go, GMG 254. Let's go. Yeah.
Only buying cars to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No phone,
Louis,
I done doubled up.
get him first, baby.
I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
Watch out. Yeah.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up.
For all my late night rollers.
Why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Let's go. Angel, appreciate you. Hey, want you to lean forward just a little bit, hey? Right there, right there. There you go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's all the time that we have for this beautiful moment. We out, baby, baby. For the fame. Let's go.